Hey everyone, this is Morshed and you're listening to Unheard Exception Show. Today we are going to talk about a controversial topic that might just change the way you learn how to code. Here is how it goes. Stop trying to understand programming. Now before you close this video thinking I lost my mind, hear me out. When I was starting out as a programmer, I had the same challenge that many beginners do. I had this misconception I needed to understand all the syntax and concepts and maybe even memorize them. I thought that was the most proficient way to be a programmer. Let me tell you, it wasn't productive at all. In fact, it significantly slowed down my progress. I spent countless hours reading documentation, trying to understand every method and syntax, thinking that was what real programmer does. But you know what? It didn't make me a better programmer. If anything, it actually made me more hesitant to write code. The turning point came when I realized I need to let go of the idea of understanding everything. There is just so much to learn in coding, new languages, frameworks, and tools. Once I shifted my focus to building projects and solving real-world problems, my skill improved significantly. I learned to be comfortable with not knowing everything and instead focused on knowing how to find the information I need to be successful. This experience taught me a very valuable lesson in programming. Doing is more valuable than just knowing. It's okay not to just understand everything. What's more important is being able to create, to solve problems, and to keep learning as you go. So, if you are feeling overwhelmed by a vast amount of knowledge in programming, remember my story. Let go of the idea of understanding everything and focus on creating. That's where the real growth happens. Here are 2 ways to make it happen. Number 1, code first, ask questions later. Instead of just trying to understand every concept before you start coding, dive right in. Write code even if you don't understand fully what each line is doing. Use examples, copy paste if you need to, and tweak things to see what happens. The act of writing code, even if it is not perfect, will teach you more than reading it. Instead of endlessly reading tutorials and documentation, start by building projects as soon as possible. Choose small, achievable projects that interest you. As you build, you'll naturally encounter problems that force you to learn new concepts. Number 2, embrace the what, not just the why. Now, let's talk about embracing the what instead of getting too stuck by the why. I know it sounds counterintuitive. After all, aren't we always supposed to ask questions? But hear me out. When you're starting out, it's more important to know what a piece of code does and how to use it rather than understanding every nitty-gritty detail of why it works that way. The deeper understanding will come with time and experience. Now let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you're learning how to drive a car. You don't necessarily need to understand internal combustion engines or physics of friction to start driving a car, right? You just need to know what the pedals do, how to use steering wheel, and when to use your turn signals and so on. Programming is a lot like that. The why? Well, that will come later, maybe much later, when you're diving into advanced topics or performance optimization. So, the next time you come across a new function or a method in a tech stack, ask yourself, what does it do? How can I use it? When would it be useful? Trust me, this approach will have you writing working code much faster than trying to understand every little thing in. So, how can you put this in practice? Here are some actionable steps. Number 1, choose a project that excites you, no matter how small. Number 2, find a tutorial or existing project similar to what you're trying to build. Number 3, start coding using the copy, paste, and modify technique. Number 4, when you encounter problems, focus on finding solutions rather than understanding every little detail. Rinse and repeat this approach with more complex projects. By shifting your focus from understanding to doing, you will not only learn faster, but also able to build real-world practical skills that matters the most. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know how you plan to apply this approach in your programming journey in the comments. Thanks for watching and have a great day.